For all the friends, I'm gonna pin me. Yay! Welcome. Let's move in honor of hips and low backs and also transition times, right? So here we are, end of summer, beginning of autumn, but we're in the in between, like this doyo, this in between season. So, oh my God, it's like a supercharged moment. Like we're in the in between season. We're coming up on the equinox portal. We're in the full moon lunar eclipse portal. And there's some other just wild and wackadoodle things going on all at once. So this is one of those days, like today, Tuesday, September 17th. This is one of those days where you just prioritize practice, right? And whatever that practice is going to be, we're going to start it here with this, movement practice, as breathing, body awareness, rest in between. There's meditation, there's chant, there's prayer, there's contemplation. We're going to have like full moon circle later, get into some of the contemplative aspects of that as well, little analytics, feelings, little group therapy. Yeah, because that's what you do with a day like today. You don't pay so much attention to the crazy thoughts that are running through because everything is exacerbated today, right? So if there's an image, the image is getting like the keynote, like you're trying to fix the screen is like, yeah, it's quite distorted energy for the mind today. So don't hook in on anything. You have crazy and wild thoughts, we watch them flow, and that's about it. So let's do a practice that helps us get into just observation, right? And being able to separate or make a little space. Oh, big to separate or make a little space between the you that is thinking the thoughts and the you that is forming thoughts based on those thoughts, right? I have the thought, oh, I am such and such a way. This is my character. The thoughts on the thoughts. That's where we really get caught up like this. So let's get into feeling in the body. We're coming towards the end of summer expansion. We're in the in between. By the time we do this class next week, we're going to start a new season of practice. So coming into just laying here on the back as we take a pause and just feel the body fills with breath, the belly fills with breath, the chest fills with breath, and the whole of you melts into the floor. Just a few rounds like this. Maybe the hands are finding their way somewhere onto the belly or the chest, or elbows on the floor. We breathe in, and as we breathe out, we melt into the floor. Is there a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth that might feel good? Is there any little micro movement that might help us get a little bit more breath into the body? And what's happening as you're just letting yourself melt into the floor? As the body melts, what's rising up in the body, right? Is fatigue rising up? Like now you can see it because you slowed down. Is stiffness in the body showing itself? Are loose and breezy places showing themselves? Are places and spaces that like to hold showing themselves? Probably a little bit of everything. We're just starting with a really gentle movement of the knees from side to side. That might not be all the way to the floor just yet. Go ahead and bring arms out to the sides as you're inhaling in the center, exhaling, just feeling. When it feels like you're ready for the knees to reach the floor. And just letting the knees, so feet are a little bit wide. And when you feel ready to start getting the head into the mix, turning the head in the opposite direction. Maybe you're at a place where you just want to hold. Sometimes I play with my arms. If I can't activate through side body or other fascial planes that wrap and spiral. So I'm going to use my therapeutic movement practice to explore these kinetic chains, these spirals of connectivity in the body. Don't hesitate to use a little bit of gentle massage just to activate. Let's try this on the other side. Observing differences on the two sides, all the way back to center. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give the legs a hug. Oh, little squeeze and stretch to the low back. So one of the features of aging is that when we exercise, we're sore. Yeah, a lot more sore than when you're exercising in your 20s. So everything that we'll do in today's practice is helpful for circulating basically fluid and fluid-filled spaces to help move those chemicals, those little inflammatory markers that are creating that soreness. So little rocking movement here, just the pulsation, unlocking low back, sacrum, SI joint. And when you're ready, turning that into circles, holding at the knee, let the knees float away from you and then in towards the chest. In the opposite direction. Feel how you're massaging the whole of the low back with switch. Knees in towards chest, legs move away from you. And we get a nice little circle oval all around the sacrum in the opposite direction. And come back to the center, widen the knee. And we make opposite figure eights. So it's just basically opposite circle. And the hips rock a little from side to side. So getting fluid moving in the back pocket there, posterior sacrum. Let's go in the opposite direction. We're really just taking our time today with this loosening process in the hips and low back. Sometimes we just do a few of something, but if we dial it down, do a few movements and sustain them for longer, there's great benefit. So I'm just switching directions again. Now widen the knees, almost like we're going to do a happy baby pose, but just hook behind the backs of the knees and feel how the knees can move down towards the floor. And then just rocking from side to side. Just keeping this really chill. And massaging, right? A little bit of kidneys, curve of hip bone, but like try to really let the knees float outwards. Yeah, you can also make stuff up. Stretch both legs to the sky, stretch the arms overhead. Bring feet onto the floor. Come back to zigzag twist. Turning the head in the opposite direction and just notice that it's already loosening. Right, let the spine have that beautiful rotation because you're turning the head. We're coming back to center. Might be a little scoochy scooch. Stretch both legs, stretch the arms, have a big stretch through the body. We're gonna bend both knees again. Let's bring this right leg to the thigh, clasp your hand on the back of the thigh and make circles with the ankles. Might be a symphony of sounds there. The opposite direction. Nice. We're gonna flex the foot. We're gonna point the toes. And then we're gonna push through the ball mount of the foot. Flex, and point, push through the ball mount. Feel that warmth in the calf muscles. Activation all the way hamstrings. Nice. Shake that leg. Let's do the other side. Clasp a hand on the back of the thigh so you can really relax. Circles. Opposite direction circles. Flex. Point. Push through the ball mount. Flex and point and push the palm out. Feel that activation, calves, hamstring, glutes. Maybe shake that leg a little. Bring both feet back to the floor. Stretch both legs. Pavamuttanasana. Simple knee to chest. Let's alternate sides with the breath. So inhale, raising right leg. Exhale, bend at the knee, clasp the hand on the shin, draw that knee towards the chest. And then we said we're just going to flow with it. So inhale back out and down. If it's really not working to do that leg lift, just pull the knee in towards the chest. And if instead of alternating, you need to hold, feel free. You're just listening. I'm making suggestions, but you're the one listening to what your body needs. This is another posterior stretch. The capsule, hip capsule from backside. And we're squeezing large intestine and colon here. So the whole of the sacrum is activated, front and back. Nice little abdominal strengthening, lifting that leg. No need to lift higher than 45 degrees. Oh, that's the zone for strengthening. And out. Exhale. Maybe we're flexing both feet. The opposite leg is gripping the floor. Let's do one more to each side. Last one. Lovely. We're back to zigzag twist. The thing about zigzag twist, we're getting a twist. And with the feet wide, we're getting a little bit internal rotation of the hip, which is so important for our range of motion. Remember, feel free to hold if you need to hold. Couple of things that are going to involve external rotation of the hip. So bring that right foot just above the left knee and let the right knee float to the outside. Sometimes I need to just give a little bouncing, not quite bouncing, just gentle wiggling to suggest some of this anatomy that it could let go. Like it doesn't have to actually hold this thing. We're going to do a little rotation from here. Arms out to the side, inhale in the center. And as you exhale, drop the right knee all the way to the floor. And when you get down to the floor, there'll be the little gentle tractioning of the opposite hip. Could turn the head in the opposite direction. You could play with this arm. Come back to the center and just be with the little gentle external rotation again. Other little rocking movements that would help. Again, is there that little bit of bouncing that might be helpful. Try opposite side. Left knee to the outside. Is there a little bit of rhythmic movement that feels good here? Going to open up that hip or kind of honor the inguinal crease there. When you're ready, inhale. Exhale, knee to the side. Tractioning front part of the hip. Any other little exploratory stretches calling? And we're back to the center and holding here, playing a little. Let's go back to the first side. Inhale. Inhale back to center. Switch feet again. And we're back to the center. Drop both knees in towards the chest. Give the legs a hug. See how things are doing in low back land. And let's take this rolling from side to side. All the way onto the elbow. We played with like a something on the way towards happy baby pose. So let's play with a little half happy baby. So keep the left foot on the floor and grab the right foot from the outer edge. First, let that knee really drop to the outside. And then as if you're bringing the foot in line with the knee, and then just play around with the weight distribution. This left knee falling to the outside. And you can play with coming from the midline and then into the little half happy baby. And then using the hand to guide the knee, right knee towards the floor. While the opposite hip opens up in the opposite direction. So it's like, hello, good morning to the outermost hamstring. Or somewhere in your groin. I mean, wherever you're feeling this, let's try the opposite leg to play, right? So even if from here, like let this right knee fall to the outside, knees fall to the outside, we grab the outer edge and then bring that foot in line with the knee. Try to keep this opposite knee floating in the opposite direction and just play a little. So we are just like working this hip capsule in all the directions over and over again. Like move fluid in the hip capsule in all the ways we can. Let's go back to the first side. So other fun things to play with here, straightening this leg. and just play, like come from back from the midline. And then just like it's magically happening. Opposite knee, right? Falling to the outside. I prefer this little series sequence of play much more than working with a strap. Right, there could be more like holding with two fingers around the big toe. One more though. And then we're going to squeeze this hip capsule in a different form. So like we're doing like hip circles kind of thing when we do from seated, you're going to bring the leg into the midline and you're going to draw the leg up towards the chin and in towards the chest at the same time. You might be wrapped around or just using both hands. So we want external rotation and a little bit of squeeze, a little bit of compression, right? I want to squeeze in and around all those glutes. Right, so in towards the chest and up towards the chin at the same time. Oh, and just enjoy that delicious release of the glutes. Play a little that extension. Oh, and then bring it back into the chest. Give it a squeeze. Oh, that's really hit the spot there with that tight glute minimus. Oh, stretch both legs. Give a little wiggle. Like the windshield wipers. Let's try all that on the opposite leg. So we're playing around with, we're calling it half happy baby. Opposite knee falling to the outside. There might be a little movement from the midline into the half happy baby. Remember, you want to push the knee towards the floor. And then we might start playing around with some straightening of that leg. Really taking our time here. We said you could also hold that big toe. Of course, noticing differences on two sides. Then we start playing around with this, drawing the knee, whole like shin in towards the chest. And up towards the chin and in towards the chest at the same time. Maybe we're back out in some of that half happy baby. And then also straightening the leg. Towards the chest. Little squeeze. You could straighten both legs. Feel like you've done enough. Stretch both legs. Make the windshield wiper. Single leg twist. We're going to bend the right knee. Let this knee fall to the outside. So you're placing it right on the inside of left knee. First, we're just enjoying this little opening for the groin. Inhale across the body and twist. Turning the head in the opposite direction. Breathe and hold here. So one option is this foot behind the knee. You could also bring across the body. You could be behind the knee, offering a little bit hand onto the knee, whatever feels good. Inhale back to center, stretching the leg. Let's go left leg, inhale. Exhale first to the outside. There's a little massage. Help things along. Inhale in the center. Exhale across the body and twist. First round here, we're just holding, breathing. Next inhale, we're back to center. Let's try a couple of rounds where we're moving, flowing with the breath. That helps us move prana, life force energy in the body. So, inhale. Exhale. So move at your pace, listening to your body. I'm just making the suggestion. Inhale. Yeah. Exhale. So flowing. After this one, we're going to do one more to each side. Just amazing. These like extra super tight places. The SI joint that's just holding on for dear life. I think for me, I think it's just being pulled by this tight glute paradigm. We're back to the center. We're stretching both legs. We're stretching the arms overhead. Noticing the body are loosening. Something's getting juicy in there. One more time. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give a squeeze. Let the knees float to the outside like a happy baby. Maybe we're going to do happy baby here. Either holding from behind the backs of the knees or reaching from inside arch, bringing feet in line with the knees. And then there might be a little rocking from side to side. Turn the massage machine on. Really let the knees float to the outside. Butterfly pose. Feet come to the midline. Let the knees float to the outside. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Use your elbows to push knees, calves outward. Play around. With that, releasing it and drawing the knees and the feet towards the chest. You can even play around with what would be Yoga Nidra. Bringing the feet, so pick your head up, tuck the chin, bring the feet over the head. That's the trajectory. Could also reach the hands from the inside, holding the feet and stretching the feet over the head in that direction. Oh, really see from here, zigzag twist. This is one of my favorite little series. I call it my little hip capsule series. Like squeezing fluids all over. Yeah. Let's see what happens when we switch it up. We're gonna come onto the belly. Maybe a little roll to the side. Taking your time. Coming down onto the belly. Baby cobra. Hands by the sides of the chest. Lifting up. Rolling the shoulders. Squeezing the shoulders together. Breathing in. And exhaling down. Breath in between, baby cobra. Roll the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And even like come from under and squeeze. Like I just want to move the shoulder blades. Don't have a lot of weight on the hands. Resting breath in the center. And running the shoulders, squeezing together, lifting the hand. Doing all of this without squeezing the hell out of the glute. Nice. Come right into Sphinx. Elbows under the shoulders. Lifting up and enjoy. Let's stretch breath. If Sphinx is not comfortable, come back to baby cobra. Could turn this into a crocodile. Where are you called to breathe? Right now, I'm feeling front part of the body below the navel to the right and left sides. Down there in like the small intestine land. This breath is feeling spacious. I'm always tuning into my neck and jaw here. I'm doing a version of this pose that feels good. If I've got tension around the jaw, Sometimes it doesn't always feel good to just plop my head into the hand. Big breath in. Slowly come down, up and back. Child's pose. Couple of on our way to child's pose, but a couple of range of motion movements for the adductors, groins. So widen the knees, toes point straight back, come down onto the elbows, and just little fluid movement forward and back. Widen the knees, but toes straight back. So kind of too wide. Working those adductor groin attachments right there. Just widening in and around the tailbone, sacrum. Now turn the feet outwards like a frog pose. Little smaller range here. Forward and back. Let the knees float open. Breathe. Right, juicing those little groin attachments. Could be a lot here. Deep breath. Use your elbows to draw the knees into proper child's pose all the way back and all the way down. How might you explore through the shoulder blades here? As the low back releases. Widen the knees, child's pose. Nice and wide. Fold the forearms. Let the head drop. You could massage the forehead. So just rolling the head on the forearm. Releasing some of that tension. Slowly making our way back up, drawing the knees together. Vajradasana diamond pose. Slowly coming up. And let's move through thoracic spine. So exhale, a little folding forward. Inhale, just forward. Draw the elbows back and up a little. Squeezing the shoulder blade. Come back to the center and do some shoulder circles. Left jaw and the opposite direction. Interlace fingers, do a little wristy. The opposite direction. Hands and knees, cat pose, exploratory at this point. like, like who's still hanging on back there? Let's take this side to side. Inhale. And I love how we're like getting this adductor vibe today, like all in and all around the hips, but not forgetting about these groin attachments, inner thigh. It's always like a very rude place for me. Like every one of these stretches we're doing, they're not like comfortable, but there's something comfortable about the discomfort. So let's give it a go. Another one of these. It's a variation of Vajrasana, basically. You could come up with another name for this pose, but it's on the like top list of classic yoga poses that are amazingly tonifying for pelvic bowl. So widen the knees and sit in the pocket. So big toes are touching behind you, and then sit down into this pocket. Could be challenging. Like it's challenging for me, but it's like good challenging. Ah, I have I'm blessed with the house I'm staying in for many reasons, but there's a hydrotherapy hot tub. And I've been like doing this in the hot tub with like bubbles, like getting at my like glutes and hamstrings, just practicing. Right. So yeah, like this would be lion pose if we just like came into it, from here. But we're just there's a name for this pose. Oh yeah. I have to practice love, surrender in this. Chest is forward, shoulders are back. Take a nice breath in and start to draw knees together. Back into something more diamondy. A nice earth phase stretch. A little bit of space with the feet to the side, more like a hero's pose. Knees together, and we reach behind. Nice big stretch through the quads, front part of the body, bending the elbows. You might get to the floor with your elbows or fully reclined. You can decide what you want to do with your head. Keep the chin tucked, back. Kind of depends on what feels good. Child's pose with the arms by the side of the body. A counter pose here. Feet might come a little bit closer together. I'm into the little turtle show. Stay here quite a while. I've got a pose in mind. Another pose whose name I'm not remembering, but it's one of my like things that I love playing around with. So we've got left leg tucked under, and as if we were trying to get the heel at the perineum. Because in one version of this pose, you're sitting on the heel at the perineum. So my perineum's right here. My heel's pretty up close. Got some balance there. And this opposite foot, this could be like a little to the front. On some days, it can be right next to this one. Oh, it's all going to depend. You could also get a block in the mix. Finding a little balance. This one arm could wrap around. Both arms could come into chin mudra. Like you just kind of play with what you got. Sometimes I'm here, but try to find your balance. Try the other leg. It would be heel at the perineum, right? It might be that we've got a block to the side and that we're using the block for balance. Yeah, that's a fun one. And we might find ourselves down onto the floor. Stretching those legs. I just looked at the clock. I have to end a couple minutes early today just because the timing of everything. So let's just come into seated pose, easy pose. So those are also fun poses for cultivating Yoni Mudra, seated meditative posture, left leg in, right leg out. Tight for me. But there is a version of that practice. It's mainly for bodies with penises, to be honest with you. With the heel at the perineum. We don't actually have to do these, but I'm just letting you know. Sukhasana easy pose. Pause for a second. There one last twist in here. Yeah, we were getting into something there. It felt very, very yoni sphere, very yoni scape. So because I have to run, I'm just coming to a pause here. Just feeling, wow, lots of sensations. So this moon, I mean, if you have the time to come to the moon circle, we'll talk about it there too. But this is a Kundalini activation moon. So we did a real good supportive practice for that. I'll tell you that. I'm definitely feeling the vibes. So I'm gonna bail. This was a super fun practice today. We should do it again. And there's just so many juicy things we could do from here. But yeah, just enjoy this like openness in the hips and this very triangular feeling. Everything was very angular today. Very triangular practice. So I hope this will be an infusion in the day that is positive and supportive and nurturing, and we'll just keep this party going. I will see you soon and be in the flow of things. Take it easy. See ya.